Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to tackle that furnace and get the little chimney set up and everything. You know, I actually kind of like the netherrack with that dark gray. Yeah, let me grab the netherrack for right now. And then let me dump a little bit into my little tile bag. And once we get this done, it'll be almost... We got a couple other things I want to tackle. The episode might run a little bit longer, but such as building episodes. Okay, so let's set this to our netherrack. And let's do... first off, I'm going to start with a wall, and I'm just going to kind of block this in where I'm going to want this to for sure cover, right? And then we're going to do... Let's put a block back here so I can step up. And I'm actually thinking about doing something more like that. Of course, eventually these are going to be Supremium furnaces. So it's going to look a little bit better than these Inferium ones, I think. But then let's focus on the top part first. I'm actually going to bring this up by like 2. Okay, and then let's do, set this to box. Go ahead and say hollow, that's fine. Well, let's go ahead and just build this up. Oh, that's slabs. Okay, if I did that, set this up as wall, and let me change the facing to Z. Oh, you know what? It's because it's a slab. Okay. That. Forget those are slab blocks up there. And then we'll do that. Okay, so we kind of got it. We kind of got this started now. And then I think this is all in one block space. So we're going to do something with that here in just a second. But and then let's go ahead and see. I'm going to set this back to. Do I want to do cylinder maybe? Or box? I think I want to do box. I think it would look better. And then let's do kind of this coming off the edge of it. And that's, what? 3 pixels from there. Okay. And then we'll come over and on the other side do the same thing. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. And then I might actually do like this. Come up like that. And then over here, boom, boom, boom. And like that. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, which I might do, well, we'll get to that in just a second. Because I might do some kind of like, I don't know if I want like a glowing block or, I mean, that looks like a furnace. It doesn't have to be ornate. I don't think. I think if I made it too ornate, it would kind of look funny. So I don't know if I want to do that or not. But then let's go ahead and I'm going to place like a block there. Just to get a reference point. And actually, is that visible down there? Not really, because that fills up the whole block coming up. So actually, I might leave it. Because we actually do have an entire block space coming up. And then what I might do is have this steadily come inwards. So just kind of like that, I think. And then we're going to change this to cylinder. And then let's change the facing to Y. And we're just going to bring this up. Let's see, like that. There we go. I think that's right. Yeah, so we'll just have the chimney go all the way up then. For some reason, I was thinking that was not a full not a full block space that connects up to the bottom of that. But the fact that it is makes things a little bit easier for us. So we'll just have this chimney go up, and then basically all I have to do now is find where it comes up. And let's see. Yeah, that's going to be right there. And so then I need to, which it could technically curve into the house, through that ceiling part. So I might actually just start it up here and have it come up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place this just because it makes it a little bit easier. You can move through Y level and stuff with the controls like I showed in the tutorial for little tiles, but we're going to just use this here. And so what I want to do is I want to just bring it up, basically just like a little chimney that's going to come up right there. Nope. That one doesn't actually make a sphere, so let's try again. Maybe that. It does kind of not connect right here, but you'd have to be sitting like right here to be able to see it, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Because flying over, I think this is going to look fine. So there's the little chimney pipe. Let's go ahead and clean up all of this. That actually didn't take very long at all. I love little tiles like drag and drop system. And then if we come up here, which I'm still debating if I want to make it more ornate. I'm actually thinking about a couple things that we might add just to make it pop a little bit more, but nothing too ornate. Because a big furnace like that, it doesn't need to be really ornate or it's going to look really out of place. But I do think there's a couple things that we can add just to make it pop a little bit more down here. And so let's actually do that really, really quick. And I see some free ender pearls. I love these guys. I'm closing in on like 3 stacks of ender pearls. If you count 16 as a stack, of course. But let's see. Let me, might grab something out like chisel. Okay, I've been playing around with the idea of maybe adding in metal on here, but I don't think that I like it. I don't know. It just doesn't, it loses a lot of itself when it starts getting any kind of like detail or intricacies, I feel like. Because I think this shifting color of like that dark gray stone, it just fits so well. Of course, these furnaces don't, but once again, they'll fit once they're fully upgraded. But when I start adding other colors to this, it just doesn't have the same feel. Because right now, it just looks like a, dingy old furnace. And then if I start adding metal to it, like I've got this right here, which I kind of like the look of that block. But when I start adding it on here at all, it just, I don't know, it quickly loses itself, I think. So I think I'm going to leave that alone. Yeah, so I don't know. I think as it is, I know it's not really fancy or anything, but it fits right here. It looks like it fits this little forge area. And if I start adding any intricacies to it or even shaping up the top at all, like I've been playing around with this, and it just doesn't feel right when I start doing all that. Because it just, I don't know, it just feels like it's supposed to be a furnace over here. So I don't know. I've been messing with it for about 30 minutes now and playing with some different block types on it. And, I thought about putting just like little metal, kind of like little clasps on the side. It just don't fit. And then I tried shaping up these corner bits to make it less boxy. It also just didn't work. Like it didn't look right. And most furnaces I've seen are just big boxes. This is what they are. I mean, they're just big boxes. So I don't know. I think I'm going to leave that alone. I mean, it's just stone is what it is. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what it should be. And so I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna leave it. I don't know. If you guys can think of something to add to it. I mean, one thing I might do here is... I just had an idea. Let me actually pull this up. Oops. And let me... Okay, I destroyed a bunch of blocks just now. But let me actually move this to the top. I have an idea. And I think it would actually look a bit better. And then let me put these blocks back that I broke. I think it was mainly that. And put the furnaces up here instead. And then what we're going to do, let's grab... I've got netherrack. And I don't think I have anything flammable within range of this. Which we do have fire game rule tick turned off, so maybe it won't even matter. But what if I did a fire underneath this? That way it's like, it looks like it's heating the fire. I think that would be better. And it would kind of add something to this instead of it just being, because I feel like it's just a big box with furnaces in it. But anything I add to it, it just doesn't fit right. So if we had that, and then... I'm trying to make it too ornate so that it pops more, and it just doesn't need to be. But if we had this flame here, this would actually pop a whole lot more. And let me grab a piece of cobblestone. Actually, no, let me do netherite behind it. That would make a little bit more sense. Oops. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Put that back, and then we'll just put the rest of these bars on. There. There. There we go. That's a bit better, I think. It does make this thing pop a little bit more without having to really change up the shape. Because, like I said, I did some messing around, tried to change it from boxy to maybe... You know, I tried more rounded and just different little designs and tried adding accent colors to it. And when I did, it just looked cheesy, honestly. It just looked like it was trying too hard. And that's not really what we need. I don't think. And I mean, I could get rid of the slab. Well, I'd have to put basically a full block so that it hides that, and it would look more like that, which I actually think looks all right. It kind of gives it some detail at the top, so it's not just straight up and then like dipped in or whatever. It gives it a little bit more shape without being overly gaudy, I think. That fire there, I think that's good. And then I don't know if I want to bring these all the way down, maybe. Let me try it all the way down. Because I feel like those kind of look a little bit wonky. Maybe. Maybe that's good. I know we spent forever on this. So, like that. I think that's good. It just looks like a forge, but it's got that level of detail that I wanted to bring to it with little tiles without being too wonky. And then once we get this upgrade to premium furnaces, I think it's going to be a nice sight to look at. And let me do that as well. And I could bring this in a little bit more. Like that. I mean, realistically, I could cover up most of this. You know, and just have basically a little bit cut out to where you see it running is an option. But I think once we get the premium furnaces in there, I think it's going to look better. We might change it up whenever we get those, but it's going to be a little while on those. Because like I said, I'm not going to be farming Inferium. I'm actually going to be farming Inferium. Like mining and collecting it. So, but we'll see. Okay, now there's one other thing that this forge is going to need to give it some life. And that is particle blocks. These right here. And we're going to have to get ink sacs. Coal, gunpowder, those aren't an issue, but ink sacs. Actually, I think these drop from Tentacruel and Tentacruel, so I need to go out hunting for one of those. I am convinced that this is going to be a 2-part episode, but that's okay if that's the case. If we spend 2 episodes decorating, 5 episodes in total on the Forge, or the Pokeball Workshop, I'm okay with that. I mean, this is more of a building type pack, building and Pokemon, and that's going to be the main focus of this pack, so we are very few times are we going to be automating much at all. So that's my promise to you. So something a little bit different, and so if we spend a little while, there's water stone down there. You know, I still have not gotten around to getting a water mount. It might actually be better just to hover, kind of. There's a Whelmer. So I'll say, well, Lord. It's like your mind always wants to go to like the final evolution. When dealing with Pokemon, I feel like. Looks like a wishy-washy down there. Sharpedo. You know what? Actually, I don't know what level that is. Sharpedo! No! Come back. Pidgeot. There we go. I'm going to sink, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and go into a wing attack. And then let me try to catch this guy. I've just sunk to the bottom of the ocean here. That's okay. I'm scared to hit him again, honestly. Maybe with a twister it might be okay. But I'm hoping I can just catch him. I've been wanting a good water mount. I don't know why Empoleon is not a water mount. Like some of the stuff that's not water mounts, but is water type, I understand. But Empoleon is a penguin. I captured him. Okay. So Pidgeot has hit. Oh wow. Okay. It teleported me back up. Awesome. Alright. So I've got to get back to shore. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get Sharpedo out of my bank. And I know this isn't really building, but we need this because I need ink sacs. And I'm not really seeing much in the way of Tentacle or Tentacruel floating around here. Wonder if I can get on my Pidgeot. No, it kicks me off. Maybe whenever it comes up. There we go. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Awesome. Okay, so we'll grab the Sharpedo, and it's 45, which really isn't too bad of a difference from my 43 Houndoom. Okay, so let's head on back over here. I love that chimney. It just adds a lot, I think, to that building, because it, you know, it's just got that gray wall, and having that little bit of like chimney coming up that's really, really dark, almost matching the color of the shingles on the roof. It just adds a lot to that, I think. So it's the little things, I guess. Alright, so go. Well, I threw him down to like the bottom of the ocean there. Sharpedo! Okay, so if you notice, we can see a lot better underwater now. And oh, whoops. How do we go down? Is it control? Yeah, it's control. A Frillish. I imagine. Oops. No, come back here. Come back here, Sharpedo. I'm thinking Frillish could probably drop, let's see. Where'd you go, Frillish? That's a Pukimuku. There's a Frillish. But you'll notice that my oxygen is not going down. And that is because my mount gives me underwater breathing, so. Nope. Nope. End up getting caught in like a random battle or something here in a minute. Come here, Frillish. There we go. Finally get you. It's really hard to aim those in the water like that. Yeah, we got 2 ink sacs from Frillish. But with Sharpedo as our water mount, you know, the vision's a whole lot better. And it's going to make farming, if we want to farm like water stones, if we want to go find like underwater temples. If we want to farm water Pokemon, it's going to be a whole lot easier having a water mount. So now, I mean, technically we've got land mounts, we've got air mounts, we've got water mounts. That's all of them, you know. I don't use my land mounts too much because generally if I want to get somewhere I fly, but every once in a while I'll hop on Arbok and ride around just for fun, basically. Okay, so now that we've got that, we can get our little particle blocks. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab, say, maybe 2 of these. Since I have the materials to do so. Okay, so let's throw out our Pidgeot, and let's head up to here. And what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to make... I'm going to drag this out. No, actually, let me go down by like 2 blocks here. We're going to set that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little particle block and I'm just going to place it down right there. Okay, and then we are going to right-click that, and we're going to make some adjustments. There's like large smoke. First up, let's change it to large smoke, and we're going to hit save. And then it's going to do that. And then, let me find it here. Okay. Speed particles per tick I think is good at 1. If we set this to 10, that makes it go longer, right? Yeah, they go up a lot higher, as you can see. But I don't want it quite that insane. And if you have the little tiles wrench, it's a little bit easier to find what you're looking for here. But we're going to set this to, say, like 4.85. How high does that go? Yeah, because 10 takes it way up to like build height or something. Something crazy. I believe, if I recall, that's how many seconds that it stays out. So that might even still be overkill. Maybe setting it to like 3 would be a bit better. Or 3.07. Let's do that. Yeah, because now it's kind of starting to dwindle out like right there. And it's going a little bit higher, but not by much. Okay, and then you can do randomize. We're not going to randomize it. We just want it to be just a smokestack coming up. This is your XYZ, so if you want it to go off in some weird direction. Speed particles per tick is just more particles. So I'm going to leave it as 1. And there's a lot of different options here. I'm not going to go over all of them right now. But I think that is good for our smokestack. So if we're flying around... That's kind of what it looks like. So you have like really dense smoke right up there, and then it really starts to evaporate higher than that. I might actually drop this a little bit more, in fact. Maybe to more like a 2. I think originally it was too low, but we don't want to set it too high. So let's go with like a 2.18. And we'll save it as that. Okay, so if we pop out here, that's kind of what it looks like now. It's starting to really dissipate just right there. So I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good there. It kind of looks like the smoke's kind of billowing up out of the chimney. Maybe there's, you know, in theory, there's those little slits on the side of it. So the smoke's like really kind of rolling out and up and kind of dissipating off at a pretty decent rate, I think, for like a real chimney kind of coming up. Okay, so I think that's good. I know the chimney, like if you look, it's actually coming out, not quite there, but like I said, the idea is it kind of curves in. The little spout kind of curves in through that ceiling section and comes up a little bit higher. Instead of being right on the edge there, you know, like it would be if it came straight up, it kind of curves in. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, we could push it over so that it lines up with that. Oh. Let me let this thing get over the water. I'm going to take it on. Because I don't want to fall and hit the ground right there. There we go. Alright, so I guess I'm going to start out with Houndoom. That's fine. Not really what I didn't mean to do that one, but that's okay. Houndoom's not my only Pokemon worth attacking with anymore, so I think that'll be fine. Then we'll move into Pidgeot. I should have healed my Pokemon, but that's okay. I don't know if it's worth bothering with the feather dancing, I guess. Never mind. It's going to get a crit and just destroy me. Go Sharpedo! Aqua Jet. Still didn't beat it out on speed, though. Go Gligar! Man, this thing is just critting like a monster. Can I get a Venoshock off? Nope, you're going to insta-kill me. Cool. Empoleon. Brine's actually really, really good, because if your opponent's below 50% health, it does double damage. Or the damage on it is doubled, so which is pretty good. Empoleon leveled up, and we got a red card and 2 feathers. Okay. Not all that excited about that, but that's okay. Okay, and we can actually see that smoke from pretty far off. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about having the chimney pushed back. I mean, visually, I think it's going to be better than trying to stick it on that front section there, but we can make that work. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Should we push the chimney up so that it actually lines up with the rest of the chimney stack? Or should we leave it where it's at and it's more just like, you know, insinuated that it's being pushed through, you know, the pipe bends briefly and goes up a little bit. I don't know, because I think it's like, it's really apparent whenever you do that it's not lined up, but at the same time, I mean, it's not uncommon for houses to bend their pipes like that, I think. Well, I don't know. Is it? I'm thinking it's not uncommon, but maybe it is uncommon. I don't know. Because maybe the soot would build up down in there. But then again, I know my great-grandmother's house, when I was little, she had a furnace in the basement, and I remember the pipe that came up off that actually turned and went up down in the basement. So I don't know. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And we'll play it by ear. But a couple other things that I want to just really, really quickly do this episode. Like I said, it's probably going to end up being a 2-part episode. That's okay. If that's the case, that's not a problem. Let me dump off some of this stuff. But first up, if we pull up Chinese Workshop, I would like to get a Stone Tower lamp. Black bricks, redstone, glowstone. Okay, so there's that. And then there is 4 of these. I just want to quickly show you these. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on them because we don't really have a lot of time. And actually, these, we're better off maybe going with maybe the andesite fence, perhaps. So let's go ahead and grab that. And these will actually make some really nice exterior lighting. We might actually do something with architecture craft as well. I'm not for sure for the bases on these. But kind of what I'm thinking is maybe have... So I could do like that. And I don't really like it there, though. So maybe instead have it just up here a little bit. So maybe setting like right there. Kind of off in the woods a little bit. And then maybe another one that sets back in here in the berry farm area. So maybe one that sets right down here. Just kind of out of the way kind of lighting. I actually like them more like that than just like, oh, here's one at this corner and here's one over here. But then we'll have, like, say, another one that sets right there, just kind of randomly placed throughout the berry farm area. And like that. There we go. Something like that. But I wanted to show you those lights because they actually look really, really nice and they're a lot of fun to work with, I think. And so we'll use those out here. Okay, actually, I think that's going to be the last thing that we do this episode. Like I said, let me know down in the comments what you think about the chimney. Should I make it so that it all lines up perfectly, or having it pushed back a block space, is that good? You know, I mean, it's a whole lot more convenient, and we won't have to make major changes to the roof to make it work. I don't know. But, let me know down in the comments. I think that's not uncommon or unheard of for it to do that, at least from what I can recall. But let me go sleep real quick, just to get rid of this rain, because it's always dark and raining. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think. Should I shift that forward and work around it, or have it pushed back like that? It's not a big deal if we have to move it, and we'll work around that. And then we've got the first building that may house an NPC, so we might set up an NPC here that kind of runs the forge. I've got to play around with the NPC editor and see what all we can do, because I'm not 100% sure. So we'll take a look at that, and maybe set up an NPC here, because we have a building that would actually, that it would make sense. The building's done. It's ready for him. The only thing that might change is a little bit of little tiles work on the railing, and then on the pipe, and then if we add some other things to it that maybe I didn't realize were there, or that we unlock, or that come up, we might add some little things like that. But for the most part, I think the building is done. And I just want to say, it's really, really nice to be able to start a building and pretty much do nothing but that building until it's done. It's so different than, the progression-y packs, where it's like you just can't, because you have to switch gears and do something else. But yeah, let me know about the chimney. Let me know about the chimney down in the comments. And with that, I think I'm going to end out this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time for some poke breeding. I'm actually super excited about that. So I hope to see you guys then. Until then, as always, do take care. Stay safe. I'll see you guys then.